The question I would get from parents a lot was, well, this is all well and good, but, you know, will my son get a chance to play in your starting lineup? And I said, well, I have favorites. And typically, when you say I have favorites, people just sit back in the chair like, oh.
But I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Today's topic, basically, and this is something because I cultivate a lot of ideas from other people. I cannibalize. I pick and choose things that I like. But uh, this next thing I'm going to talk about is something that like I've come up with myself over years of coaching. Because when I started coaching at Rutgers, they didn't really have a recruiting guideline for me. And they came to me maybe 15 years ago or so and said, we're going to make golf a full time position. And at that point, I had to recruit, which I could tell you now. Like, am I a better coach now than I was, 30 years ago? Yeah, I am. I am. Am I, from a team that was absolutely well below average to finishing 15th in the country? Am I that much better? And we won the Mark Leach, well, actually your last year, we won the Mark Leach Award, which is given by the GCAA and I guess the NCAA as the most improved team in the entire nation. So we came from, very, very humble beginnings to, almost meteoric, success. So am I a better coach now than I was then? Yeah, I am. But you know what? I can tell you this from doing it for a living. Uh, Personnel makes all the difference. I look way smarter when I have good players. So I developed my own recruiting format. A tour, a procedure. I had it all mounted in a binder of how I wanted to be as a coach and as a recruiter. So one of the most asked questions that I got when I sat down with people. So I give the whole tour and then I'd sit down at lunch with people and I'd say, well, do you have any questions for me? And after going through the whole format of what I do and what we're all about and what my visions are, the question I would get from parents a lot was, well, this is all well and good, but, will my son get a chance to play in your starting lineup? And I said, well, I have favorites. And typically when you say I have favorites, people just sit back in the chair like, oh, he's one of those guys, right? Well, I said, I have
That's what I would
favorites.
do.
Yeah, well, yeah, but here's the thing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and you and I have discussed this
Oh, yeah.
before. Yeah. Do you like everybody the same, Richie?
No.
No. If you told me, Bob, I like everyone the same, you'd be lying to me. Would you
Yes.
not agree?
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah. So I don't like everybody the same. I don't. I'm sorry. Actually, I saw this thing on 60 Minutes, God, when I was a kid, and it rocked me a little bit because I was watching it with my parents, and there was a speaker on there who said, "I don't love all my kids equally. I love them adequately." And I'm thinking, boy, how crappy is that? Like he's saying he likes, loves another kid maybe more than another kid. And then, as I grew and I have a parent, and I have 4 kids, and watching other parents, like sometimes, like even with the best intentions, you'll always love your children. You always will. But, you know, if one kid is, messing up and creating all kinds of heartache and strife in the family, I would say, that would probably be harder to love than it would be somebody who's going to Harvard and, succeeding in life. So you'll always love your children, but like loving them equally and adequately is different. So with that said, um, I tell them, yeah, I have favorites. They're unquestionably. I like, Jimmy more than Stevie or Bobby more than Billy, yeah. But I don't play favorites. That's not what I do. I have a very specific formula at Rutgers that I set up, and I follow it. And it has something to do with attendance, and it has something to do with participating in our fundraisers, our scoring averages, and I lay it all out there. I tell the parents, like, look, I don't even have to like your kid. I don't have to like them. If they meet all my criteria and they shoot the numbers, guess what? They're going to play. And as evidence, like, you played with my oldest son. My oldest son's a very talented player. But, when it came to the national championships in 2019, I think he was our sixth player, I think he was. And only 5 start. So he was team captain,
Yeah.
and very well liked guy and a very good player. But the criteria that I set forward, he did not meet. So at that point, I did not play favorites. Okay, but I do have favorites because I do love my son quite a bit.
Glass of bourbon, ha ha. My bourbon, ha ha. My bourbon, ha ha. Alcohol, because no great story ever started with I'll have a salad.